In this section, I want to talk to you about the pre-wedding rituals. One of the things that Judaism is really good at is not just creating ritual space and sacred time, but actually helping us to prepare for it, which is some of where the magic comes from. And a lot of what your wedding is also shaped by how you prepare for it. So there are several different Jewish wedding rituals that precede it. The first is a bit of a Jewish engagement ritual that is called T'naim, which literally means conditions. And there's two different times that people can do T'naim. You can actually do it when you get engaged and to set intentions for how it is that you want to relate to the process of planning a wedding and being engaged. And the custom at T'naim is to sign a formal document that states the conditions that you are agreeing to as a couple, and also to break some plates, most classically ancestral plates. And it's powerful to realize that the ritual of creating a new partnership and creating family begins with breaking something and has kind of a dramatic effect that ultimately gets echoed in the breaking of the glass at the very conclusion of the wedding ceremony. So you can sign T'naim either in advance of the ritual, or some people actually use T'naim as a way to modify their ketubah, and so they can actually be signed right preceding the ceremony itself, and some people even break a glass then as well, or break a plate then as well. So T'naim is sort of the first of the pre-wedding rituals that you can choose to participate in. Then we flash forward to the week of. And classically in the Ashkenazi tradition, the Shabbat preceding one's chuppah, you would be invited up to the Torah with an ufruf, which is Yiddish for aliyah. You'd be called up to the Torah to recite the blessings and to have the community bless you on the occasion of your upcoming chuppah. And the nice thing about an ufruf is that it's an opportunity to invite in people maybe that haven't been invited to your wedding, also to invite in the larger Jewish community that you're a part of, and to begin to build circles of people who are being invited into this growing partnership. The ufruf can actually happen any of the weeks preceding the wedding. It doesn't have to be immediately the Shabbat before or the Shabbat of the wedding weekend. And in the Sephardic tradition, it's actually that same ritual actually happens immediately following the wedding and is called Shabbat Chatan. So instead of doing it the Shabbat before, you can choose to do it the Shabbat after. Either way, getting in to invite in the concentric circles of Jewish and local community and have there be a moment of celebration at the synagogue itself, which otherwise weddings typically happen out and about in the world, and it's nice to have a moment of grounding in sacred space and time on Shabbat. So we have the T'naim and the ufruf. The next pre-ritual is to be thinking about actually spending time apart. The wedding is a moment of coming together. Classically, although very uncommonly in our world now, a couple might not have been living together and maybe not even have been alone together prior to a Jewish wedding. And so there was a custom of actually spending intentional time apart before the wedding to build some anticipation and ground in your own experience. And some people mark the beginning of that time apart by going to the mikveh, immersing in a ritual bath, which can happen in a mikveh that's indoors in an institution. Here in West Philadelphia, we often go to the one at the Open Waters Mikveh at Temple Beth Hillel Beth El in Wynwood. But you can also use any natural body of water, the ocean, a river, a lake, anything where there is mayim chaim, there is living waters. For couples who are multi-faith or interfaith, going to the mikveh is actually the only part of a Jewish wedding that's specific to the Jewish couple and to the Jewish person, and that's because it's actually how you become Jewish. But that's only if you choose to go to a mikveh that's indoors. Certainly, people of all faiths can go to sort of a natural body of water and immerse in water. And there are ritual descriptions in our wedding resources folder that give you ceremony outlines for how you might approach the mikveh. So you have the T'naim, the ufruf, the mikveh, and the other two customs that precede. One is the practice of visiting graves. It's said that the chuppah is a time where it's a bit of a time portal or a time capsule where the whole nexus of everything that was, is, and will be converges, and that includes the spirits and the presence of people we've loved who have passed. And so there's a custom before one's chuppah of actually visiting the graves of people who are important to you, who might have wanted to have been there, who are perhaps responsible for you arriving to that moment. And the last preparation is actually the practice of fasting. There's a custom of doing a daytime fast from waking until the chuppah, and that can mean that the first sip of wine under the chuppah might be the way that you break the fast. And all of this is meant to encourage a heightened sense of awareness, attention to the body, presence in the day, and to cultivate a sense of everything holy about the experience of getting married.